Coffee break with me. Woo! Good morning, St. Louis. So today I have a special video for you guys. It is all about the famous beauty blender. Several of you asked me in my videos, what sponge are you using? What's the craze about that? Why do you use it so much? Why is it so amazing? Look, you guys, this sponge is completely worth the $25 it costs. But it's amazing. It lasts forever and it's incredible. So let me tell you a little bit about it. The Beauty Blender is a cosmetic sponge, and there are many sponges out there that claim to be a dupe for it, that do the same exact thing. I don't know what it is about this sponge, but this sponge is magic. It starts off like a little sponge like this. And when you use it to apply your makeup, you soak it in water and then wring out all the water, and it turns into a sponge like this. So you see the difference? The sponge is incredible. It gives you a really soft, flawless look, and it also pushes the makeup into your face so it doesn't look like a mask. And I definitely prefer using this over a foundation brush. Now, using our beauty brains, our common sense here, a sponge is designed to soak up liquid. This is a cosmetic sponge, so it is formulated in a way where it won't soak up as much of your foundation, but it will still soak it up. So what you do is you wet your beauty blender, you completely saturate it, completely wet until it's this big, and then squeeze out all the water. And what I do is after I squeeze out all the water, I wrap it in a paper towel and then give it one more squish. And then I'm ready to apply my makeup. The sponge will still absorb liquid. So what do? You have to know how to use it properly. Can you use any type of foundation with this? No. So there are several things that you want to take into consideration when you're going to use a beauty blender to apply your makeup. The first thing is, if the foundation is like this, do you hear it? Really liquidy, it's all gonna go into your sponge and none of it's gonna go into your face. If it's like this, like a stick, it's not going to do anything except push in the streaks, and you don't want that. So you wanna use a foundation that is a liquid foundation, but it still has some sort of viscosity to it. Tater Tot wanted to come out in the video and he didn't take no for an answer. So what I was saying is you want to pay attention to the viscosity of your foundation. And viscosity means the thickness or thinness of the liquid. Is it really thick, like a gel or like a pudding? Is it really thin or a liquid like water? What type of foundation are you using? And is it proper or okay or adequate to use with your beauty blender sponge? So my favorite foundations to use when I use my beauty blender are my Urban Decay Naked Skin, my Makeup Forever HD foundation, and my Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 CoverGirl foundation. These three foundations are liquid foundations, but they're the kind of liquid foundation where if you pump it onto your hand, it's not going to drip down your arm. I wouldn't recommend using a foundation like a whipped foundation, because unless you blend it out with your fingers first and then use the sponge, you're kind of adding an extra step and it'll just be kind of clumpy and it'll be too thick in some areas. So again, the type of foundation you want to use is a foundation that you can pump onto your hand and it won't drip down. It'll still move because it's still liquid, but it's not just going to run down your arm. So just so you can get a general idea of what I'm talking about, you see? I hope you guys can see that. So it's still dripping, but it's a liquid foundation. It's not running down my arm like water. The CoverGirl one is a little bit thicker, if you can tell. So that's the type of foundation that is perfect to use when you're using your Beauty Blender sponge. So remember, wet it, and then use a foundation that's the proper viscosity if you want to achieve the best results with your Beauty Blender. I'm going to bring you guys in closer now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to use the Beauty Blender sponge. Okay, so you're a little bit closer now, and you can tell I'm just going to go ahead and use the foundation that I already pumped out into my hand just so I don't waste it. And what I'm going to do, since I used two, I'm just going to mix them together. We don't waste nothing here, girl. So do you see what I'm talking about? It's still liquid, but it doesn't run down my arm. If I use this one, Lord Jesus, it would just all go into the sponge and it'd be just ruined. So what you do is you start off by, and this isn't a foundation video, so I'm not going to teach you how to put on your foundation, but I am going to teach you how to use the beauty blender. You kind of pat on the foundation all over your face, like so. I always like to put on a little bit first and then use it, and then if I need more, then put more after. Because then once it's on your face, it's kind of like adding salt to food. Once it's in there, you can't take it out. So you kind of pat it all over your face. And you've seen this, I think, in several of my videos. And then you take the fat part of the sponge, the bottom part, you see how it's like a teardrop? You take the round part and then just push into your face, almost like you're trying to absorb the product, and then push and pull out, push and pull out. And what you're doing is you're evenly blending out the product. I know I'm being really hard on my face, but I just really want to show you the movement that I'm doing. So you're pushing in, pulling out, pushing in, putting out. And you just do the same movement, but really fast over and over and over and over again until you've covered your face. The cool thing about the sponge too is that it has the tapered end, so you can get under your eyes. I always put foundation on my ears. Some people forget about that, because if your foundation is not the exact same color as your face, then, I mean, it'll literally look like you're wearing a mask because your neck and your ears don't match. So, again, movements, up and down, up and down, up and down, push, 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 push. Your eyes, under your eyes, in between your nose, down your neck. If you notice that your foundation is drying a lot faster than you're able to spread it out, what you want to do is, with the same beauty blender, is you push it to your face and then do a quick swipe motion. So if your foundation is starting to set, that means drying. You put the beauty blender on your face and then swipe. So if, like right now, my foundation is drying really fast, so what I do is I do this. Do you hear that? I'm swiping it across my face. So what I'm doing is I'm softening the lines of where the foundation is drying, just so that it's a smooth application and it doesn't look streaky. And you do it really fast because obviously your foundation is drying and you don't want it to be streaky on your face. And that's it for foundation. So if you're using the beauty blender for foundation, that is the way you do it. Another useful thing you can do with the beauty blender is to apply your concealer. Because I have really dark under eye circles, I don't like to use such heavy creamy concealers because they crease really bad. My favorite concealer, besides the Lancome Holy Grail one that's in my top 5 concealer video, for the summer I'm really liking the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. This was also in my top 5. And what you do is you take your concealer on your ring finger, and this is also liquid, so if you see the viscosity, the viscosity of the concealer is liquid but thick enough so that it doesn't drip. You pat it with your ring finger on your under eye like this, and then you use your beauty blender to set it, or to blend it out, I guess. Here's a tip. When you're using a concealer, you always drag it out to your temple. Always drag it out to your temple. And you bring a lot of extra light into your eyes, into your face. And you also bring it down where your nose and your cheekbone meet. So pat your concealer, drag it out to your temple, and then down in between your cheek and your nose. And then you take your beauty blender, and you take the pointy side, the teardrop side, and you pat it in. This is your under eye area, so you're not going to do that swipe motion. You're going to just pat it in. And what happens is it makes it look smooth and flawless. blender. There are other ways you can use it. There are other things you can use it for, but the main purpose of this is to apply concealer or foundation. This is to set like the base on your face. Pointy side under your eye, or maybe in between your nose, under your chin, and then the round side for all over your face. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup, and then I'll show you guys how to properly wash your beauty blender. Okay guys, so after you're done using your beauty blender, it's very important that you maintain proper hygiene. And what that means is every time you use it, you need to wash it. And you need to wash it with the same soap you use to wash your face, or with the same soap that you use to wash your brushes. You can use an antibacterial soap, but that can be a little bit harsh. The soap of choice, or the cleanser of choice that I use, is the Purity Made Simple by Philosophy. This is the same cleanser I use for my face to wash off all my makeup, including my eye makeup. It is incredibly gentle. It has very lightly scented. It's all natural, organic, preservative-free, blah, 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 blah. It's amazing. So basically all you do is you take your beauty blender, and I like to wash it in hot water. I like to wash it in hot water because hot water, as hot as you can take it, kills bacteria. So what I do is I run a little bit of water in it. I take my cleanser and I put about a quarter size on top like that. And then I wash it. And you can see the liquid that comes out is the color of your makeup. And you definitely don't want that sinking in to the deepest part of your sponge and causing breakouts. So you're gonna keep scrubbing it and wringing it out until the water is clear. Okay, and once you wring it out for the last time and the water is clear and there's no more soap, you know you've cleaned it really well. Now, some makeups do stain. So if you notice, the tapered side is where I use my concealer. Some heavy duty concealers stain the sponge. As long as you squeeze out the sponge and the water is clear, you know it's clean. The pink sponge tends to fade. So this is from washing it so much, it's starting to turn white. And you want to squeeze it out, get all the water out, and then just let it dry. You don't want to cover it or put it in a container or anything. Just let it sit out and air dry, and then you're ready to use it. And that's how you wash your beauty blender sponge. So again, in case you forgot, the name of the cleanser that I use is by Philosophy, and it's called Purity. I swear to you guys, had a moment. I swear to you guys, this stuff is incredible. It's so gentle. It doesn't like get really bubbly like a harsh soap, but it takes off everything, eye makeup, everything. And so I use the same on my beauty blender, and so it cleans it really, really well. If you don't use this, you could also use baby shampoo or an antibacterial soap. You could, I don't recommend it, but you could. So make sure that you maintain proper hygiene with your beauty blender. And this guy could seriously be your best friend. It's incredible. And I think that's it. So I really hope you found this video beneficial. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, this is CoffeeBreak.